Good morning, sports fans from all around the globe. I am your host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and this is your breakfast bankroll for Wednesday, March 9th, 2022. Champ Week is officially here. It is starting today. What a day. What a day. Actually, what a night last night. Our ECSI VIPs 4-0 this week, plus 4.65 units to start the week. 3-0 last night. Marshall boxed the wire. The Caps hard fought battle, 5-4 win, and the Wild puck line minus 1.5 all get to the window. If you guys were watching yesterday at the Bankroll, or if you were watching on the closing bell, I talked about this. Please take note. Respect the opening line. I talked till I was blue in the face about the Blackhawks last night and the fact that they opened up minus 130 and got taken down all the way to maybe minus 115 and boxed away. I think they got a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, 8-3, never in doubt. So opening lines are a story that is created by Vegas. Our job is to figure out the happy ending. Which side is going to win and why? And that's what me and Scott's job is here. Everyone watching right now that is not a subscriber to our YouTube, please run over to YouTube, East Coast Sports Investors. Just hit subscribe. It's free. Turn on the notifications, smash the like button. Follow us on social media. We're here to help. We're here to put some money in your pocket to answer any questions that you guys might have. That's what me and Scotty are here for. So without further ado, let's bring him in. The man from the Palm Tree State, where we could use some damn warm weather back east here. We're only going to get another 2 to 4 inches today. I mean, talk about being selfish. You know, you could share once in a while. Didn't you taught in a young age to share? It's okay, Mr. Scotty Webb. Good morning, sunshine.
Yes, it is very sunshine. If I open up the blinds, it's pretty sunny outside. So it is what it is. It's pretty warm here until this weekend. At night we're supposed to get into the 40s again, and that's like it's like frigid for us. So I mean the daytime will be in the 70s, but whatever. It's been really a nice, comfortable time to be in Florida. We don't have all the humidity right now, so that's what's really great is that it's just great to be outside in the middle of the summer. Boy, it's like go give me the air conditioner.
Well, it's Champ Week. You know, I listen. Hats off. You know, we were just breaking numbers for the live people that were actually jumping in early, and now they just all faded and disappeared. Maybe they just wanted to hear the intro or whatever. But it is what it is. But great talks last night in the MLB. It really seems like they're pushing to get this deal done. They extended the 162 games to today. When Bernie moves up to 25%, I think we got a good shot. I'm staying positive. I know you are. Thoughts on what's going on right now?
I don't understand why they're still screwing around with this shit. They spent 15, 16 hours together yesterday. They spent 15, 16 hours together the time before when they made all this momentum and stuff happen. I think that they were presented. The union was presented with an offer, and they took it to the players last night. So they're trying to get a vote on it today. So I think that's the first thing that's going to come out. And I don't think they're so far away right now between all the different things that are left on the table, which looks like it's the international draft and stuff. I don't think that that's going to be a deal breaker. So I think that it's I think that it's time. One of the things that I just did, Jim Bowden put out a tweet, and he basically said, "Hey, look, guys, at this point, you guys have all won. Everybody's made substantial gains. It's not about who's going to kill each other at this point at the table. It's about getting back to playing baseball. So let's make a deal happen today and move on. And I think that's the right sentiment to have. And I think that everything's going to work itself out as long as that's what happens.
Yeah, I'm very positive. I think it's going to happen. And you know what? At the end of the day, uh, listen, I'm just hoping. That's all I am. I didn't cancel my MLB this, MLB that. I believe they have made some big strides, and they understand, the effect of what this does. The egg in the face. Whether this takes, it's 90 something days. I mean, their fault initially was it took them so long just to sit down, and I think the first standstill and then them leaving was kind of a just. Is it okay to say what a dog and pony show or something? I don't know what it is. You know what it is.
Well, it's amazing, that you sit here and, we look at it from the perspective of now. And if they got a deal done today, they're going to still play 162 games. And theoretically, all the other bullshit that went on, nobody even remembers because we got a deal and everything's ready to go. The one thing I will say that I think is interesting is the idea that Major League Baseball is now going towards streaming with the Apple TV deal. It doesn't bother me. I think that's actually probably a good thing. When I don't sign up through the cable package for the MLB package. I do it through the MLB network. So my stuff is streamed to me. And I can tell you just I'm used to that. I'm comfortable with that. And as the cable packages are dying off, I think that that's a great idea for baseball because I don't, there's not that many other sports that are involved in the streaming business nearly like what Major League Baseball is. So to a certain degree, that gives them a leg up on a lot of that kind of stuff. And the other part of it, I know that, like Amazon's getting involved in NFL and stuff like that, but that's not nearly what every single game is available on streaming through Major League Baseball. So I think that's a good thing. I think that's a feather in their cap. I also think that they need the money. So that's a positive sign for Major League Baseball.
I got my UConn shirt on today. Big East opens up. UConn doesn't play till tomorrow, and I wouldn't be lying if I didn't say I am scared poopless if they face Seton Hall. I witnessed the Seton Hall at Campbell game, and I didn't understand how this Seton Hall team had as many losses as they have. When you get into Madison Square Garden, which I'm not going to call a home game for UConn, but UConn, this is their second home. I have high expectations. I expect them to play Nova in the semis. It's going to be a hard-fought battle. I had my number at Nova -3.5. My buddy thinks it'll be closer to 2. I think the winner of Nova UConn will play. I don't know if Providence gets there, but I'm holding a +500 ticket and a +360 ticket on UConn to win the Big East. My big rant on the Bostonian versus the book, driving on the way to the Villanova UConn game. I don't say we move numbers, but I do say this, that we got raving reviews on the show, and Circa had UConn at +360 that day to win the Big East. It's down to +300. So maybe we moved it just a little, Scott.
Well, I mean, let's just say it this way. So part of what we do is provide the information to the public and to the people that come into our lanes. We have a Discord channel, and I don't think many people are familiar with our Discord channel. So the truth of the matter is, in the Discord channel, we try to provide you data analysis information and a lot of other things, because just what you just said, most of the people who are originators in this business, and we create our own lines and we look at stuff and we publish those lines through our Discord channel. The truth of the matter is that originators don't want that stuff to be public. And we don't want it to be public just because of what you said. The truth of the matter is we want the best lines, and we want the best lines to bet on, and we want them to be available to us. So in a lot of ways, we are up against two things. We're up against the sports books original lines and what they are today, and then we're up against the public who comes in and starts to move these lines. So we want to beat the public, and we want to react to them fast. So as originators in the market, we have the ability to do that because we create our own numbers and we know where things are supposed to be. And when someone like you says, hey, respect the opening line, guys, I'm telling you, you need to respect the opening number, because if you're not listening, then you're not getting it. And, I create an opening number in the NBA. I create numbers in baseball. You guys will see what I do in baseball. It's unbelievable. But that being said, all those different things that come along, this is why we do this stuff, because there's so many fallacies in this business, and we're just trying to be straight shooters. But a lot of what we're going to be providing on here is the overview. You want the nooks and the crannies, and you want to get into all of it, sign up to the Discord channel. That's all I can tell you.
A perfect example yesterday, Scott, is if you had some inside information on Russell Wilson going to the Broncos. Now, we know for a long, long time that their ploy was to get Rodgers the whole time. Now, last year in the draft at the 9 spot, they passed on Justin Fields. Why? Because they thought they were going to get Rodgers. It didn't happen. So in this offseason, is Rodgers going to Denver, or is he going to stick and stay at Green Bay? Well, he stuck and stayed. And then like a half hour later, the Seattle and Denver announced the trade. Now, talk about moving numbers. Denver went from 30-1 to 20-1 to win the Super Bowl. Okay, so just off the top of my head, okay, the Bills are still the team to beat, and people brought up some great points here. You now have an AFC West with Mahomes, with Herbert, with Wilson and Carr, and now Josh McDaniels, new OC, new whole coaching staff, however you'd say it, but they're going to be beating up themselves anyways. So the Bills got that clear path right there. And then I said, okay, the Chiefs are still ahead of the Broncos for now. And then from there, do you put the Ravens ahead of the Broncos? After that, I think the Broncos are even, there's already talks, wink, wink, Von Miller coming back. He got a ring in Denver. He goes to LA, got a ring. He wants to end up retiring in Denver. You have a stud young running back with Javonte Williams. You didn't have to give up Judy. You didn't have to give up Sutton. Okay, you did have to give up Fant, so it'll be interesting to see what they do in the tight end. But they have a good young defense too. So right now, listen, I am a true believer in buying the steak, not the sizzle. I know there's a lot of sizzle on the Broncos right now, but if you take a step back, you have to kind of sort of have that same feeling when Peyton came over there.
Yeah, two things. One, I want to say hi to Chris Newman. Chris, hello there, making a comment to us, so I appreciate that. And then two, I'm a big believer in the second year. So there's a lot of teams that go out and they rearrange their roster. I think that one of the things that we run into here is the caveat to that was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when they brought in Tom Brady. But Tom sort of fit in and was a leader of that team. Not that Russell Wilson's not going to be, but Tom's a different quarterback than Russell Wilson. I mean, Tom's a pocket passer. Russell Wilson's a playmaker. So I look at it this way. I think that Denver will be better suited the second year than they are the first year. So value-wise, I think people are going to jump all over Denver, and I don't think that's the wrong thing. But I do think at the same time, they still have to overcome the Chiefs. And the truth of the matter is they still got to overcome the Chargers and the Raiders. So not to saying that Russell Wilson can't get that done, but they still got to do it. And they got a new head coach too. So I think they're going to be a better suited situation for the second year than they are the first year.
All right, let's get into it. We got some 12 o'clock games. We got a lot of action. Just because there's action, guys, doesn't mean we got to play it. But I'm going to bring up the board for Scotty to take an early look at the NBA, and then I'll go through the college ranks and NHL. Maybe we will see some opening lines that you need to respect. Maybe we'll have a bag game. I don't know. Same day every day. Everyone asks how you doing, Jeff. It's Groundhog Day. It's Groundhog Day.
Yeah, it's a new board. It's just a new situation, and you got to analyze what's going on. So, looking at these things, there was a couple of things that and let me just preface this first by saying I didn't play anything yet this morning. So that means that I won't be playing anything probably until the afternoon up to our 4:30 show. So that'll probably be where you get some plays. But what I'm looking at right now is Boston and Charlotte. I'm looking at that game. My number tells me that 7.5 is too high for Boston on the road. So I'm looking at that number, and I'm also looking at that game. It says 227 is the number for the total, and I'm looking at a number over 230. So I might be looking at a total there. So I'm just looking at that one. Another one I'm looking at is Phoenix in Miami today. Miami's been playing really, really good basketball, but Phoenix getting 8 points, and even without Booker, that team's been playing pretty well. And then I'm looking at that one at I think the total right now it was 216. It went up to 217. Now it's 219. So I had over 216. So that's probably the right direction where it should be going. So I'm probably going to drop that part of it off. And this one, Jeff, maybe you can help me on a little bit. Milwaukee last night opened. I know it's going to say 5.5 on Wager Talk, but it says -7 on the overnight line at pregame, and now it's all the way down to -5. My number is going to be more towards double digits here, so I like Milwaukee. So you're probably going to have to talk me off of that one. And then down the road here, the Lakers and Houston's game, those are two teams that aren't scoring real well. So they got it at 233. My numbers come in more in the 220 range. So I'm liking that one to go under. I'm trying to see. Oh, here's another one. Toronto and San Antonio. Toronto's a small favorite on the road against San Antonio. But I like the San Antonio Spurs at home tonight, so I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to play there. And then the last one is, and I hate to say this, I have Denver in a spot where the way they're playing lately, they should smoke the shit out of Sacramento. And again, of course, Sacramento is my caveat team that just beats me up if I play against them or I play on them. But I might be playing Denver tonight -4.
Well, I'm going to go back to that Atlanta-Milwaukee game. For me, I like to do the eye test, as I did yesterday with the Blackhawks. And I talk about respecting the opening number and what sticks out, what seems a little low, where are they trying to grab you? And I'll be honest with you, the first thing that obviously I would go to is I think they're trying to grab the buck money. I really do. And I'm showing an opening on Don Bessa 5s. So maybe the computer number was 7. Maybe they threw a soft lob to the Sharps last night at 7. But the actual public number that everyone saw this morning was 5.5. I don't know if maybe someone's sitting on the Bucks. I don't know. But that Atlanta +5 would attract me just because I think they're trying to attract the buck number. Like you said, your numbers and a lot of other people numbers, they're scratching their head right now. Like I got Milwaukee as a double-digit favorite.
Yeah, I saw the opening number on pregame says 7, so I'm assuming that's the overnight number. And then now it says 5, and then I'm looking at what happened on Wager Talk, and Wager Talk kind of says the same kind of thing, and it's at 5. So that meant to me, okay, look, they actually wanted Hawks money, got Hawks money. So do you respect the -7? And my number sits here and says it's closer to that 10 than it is to 5. So I'm going to respect the opening number and say the opening number is probably more right. And I think that the Bucks are where it's supposed to be tonight. But I haven't made any play, so that's why I'm still looking at this stuff. I haven't even really looked at who's sitting out yet tonight.
Um, Another number that looks a little smelly to me is the Clippers. Again, opened at 5, 3.5, now 4 against the lowly Washington Wizards. What do you have there?
My number is Clippers minus 3.5. So I know that it shows overnight line was 6, and then Wager Talk says 5. It says 4 now, so I'm suggesting that the line's moving in the right direction. My total was 216, and I think this was 217 right now. So I think that's probably pretty close to where it should be. So I'm looking at it going. I'm thinking it's going in the right direction.
All right. Other than that, I think they're trying to get a little Dallas money. You know, we don't know. The Knicks have actually been playing a little better. They've been actually winning some games. Never mind covering. That line opened at 7.5. It's only going to go one spot.
Yeah, my numbers say you're supposed to take the Knicks tonight, but I just can't bet the Knicks.
No,
but
I got it.
That's what my numbers say. My numbers say bet the Knicks.
No, that's what they're saying. I'm trying to multitask here.
But I kind of like the idea of that game. My numbers also say that's a game that should be in the 220s, and it's 215 right now. So I don't mind the over on that one.
All right, let's dip our toes into the college ranks here. Nothing in the Idaho world or the northern Arizona and eastern Washington. We'll go to the Big East, Syracuse and Florida State. You talked behind the scenes with me on here already. Some money pouring in on Florida State. 12 p.m. start, rotation number 643, 644. It's kind of funny here. In this game here, we got a 15-16 Syracuse team against a Florida State. Both team Jekyll and Hydes. You have to look at it this way. Is this Boeheim's last game? You know, Syracuse has had some runs where they've saved seasons in tournament play. A team that's not going to the tournament unless they can run the sheet here. A game that opened at 1 and Vegas did what they wanted. They attracted the Florida State money. I have no idea on knowing which Syracuse team's going to show up. Never mind Florida State. I mean, but for them to open up 1, they've gotten 57% of the bets, 53% of the money. It's shot to 2.5. What do you have at pregame?
Well, a couple of things. First of all, $191,000 right now on this game, Jeff. And I know it's a noon start, so there's it's going to build up. That 11:30 game with Idaho Sacramento's got $135,000 on it. I mean, everybody wants to bet these games, for gosh sakes. 61% of the money, 51% of the tickets on Florida State. But I will say this. Looking at this, and this is what we talked about behind the scenes a little bit. That Florida State number took a big jump, and it took a jump. It was about 11:30 or so, not 11:30, but it was like 10:30. And let me pull it up here real quick so I can get it. It was right there, 10:20. So at 10:20, there was $40,000 on Florida State. And then at 10:21, there was a $40,000 wager made on Florida State. So somebody came in, and I don't want to tell you that, when we're talking the big bag games, somebody puts $100,000, $150,000, $125,000 on these games. This one is $40,000 on the game. So that jumped that number up pretty quick, and then certainly changed the odds to 2.5 to 3 pretty quick too. So I would tell you that the money is coming in on Florida State pretty handily here.
Yeah, I'd stay away. Again, that 12 o'clock game is such a magnet to so many people. You want to start the day off on the right foot. It's a game that I just don't know which teams are going to show up. As in yesterday at 12 o'clock, or was it? Yeah, 12 o'clock. I think it was the BC game against Pitt. and BC got steamed up to 2.5, and they won by 20. So just be careful. That's all. Speaking of BC, our rotation number 645, 646. BC Wake Forest. Wake Forest opened at 10.5, now down to 10. 66% of the bets, 59% of the money on Wake Forest. If those numbers are correct on pregame, it would be some reverse line movement currently on the BC Eagles.
Well, this is showing opening 9.5 for Wake Forest. It's at 10 now. $31,000 bet on the game, 84% of the money, and 85% of the tickets on Wake Forest.
I like Wake Forest here. BC just played yesterday. Again, they played well. But Pitt is no Wake Forest, so just be careful there. A tough number there. Clemson, Virginia Tech, 647, 648, the nightcap. Tech opened at 5, still at 5, 5.5 at DraftKings. I'm showing 68% of the bets, 98% of the money on Virginia Tech. Clemson also played yesterday. Line isn't moving right now.
$8,500 on the game, so nobody's playing it yet just because it's later game. But 74% of the money, 63% of the tickets on Virginia Tech.
And the nightcap in the ACC, Louisville, Virginia. Louisville, big lead last night and had to hold on dearly. So a nice little sweat for all the Louisville backers. Rotation number 649, 650. Opened at 6, stayed at 6. I saw some 5s last night. So let me just double check. Let me cross-reference here. Come on, eyes. Where are you? Hold on 1 second here. Yeah, a computer model of 3.5. It was 5 overnight. 5s on Dawn Best. 6s at Wager Talk. Money pouring in on Virginia, 77% of the bets, 52% of the money.
Yeah, I'm showing 7,000 on the game, 79% of the money, and 89% of the tickets on Virginia.
Let's go into the Atlantic 10. St. Joe's, LaSalle, a 1 o'clock start. Rotation number 651, 652. St. Joe's opens up at 3 now, 2.5. Money pouring in on LaSalle, 62% of the bets, 95% of the money.
Well, this has 69,000 on it, so it's got to be an earlier game. And 79% of the money, this is interesting, 79% of the money is on LaSalle, 61% of the tickets is on St. Joseph's.
Yeah, keep an eye. I just, whenever St. Joe's is a favorite, it's just a be careful, like yesterday when I said BC. When you see these teams that have been dogs that are short favorites, it's always tough to trust. So just be careful there. Duquesne and Rhodey, I'm showing opened at 9.5 now, 10 at Circa. So Circa, Derek and Matt, Mr. Benson and Mr. Metcalf got some overnight money on Rhodey. 53% of the bets, 76% of the money on Duquesne.
Hey, in that St. Joseph LaSalle game, I just checked it. There, $69,000 is on that game, but at 10:20 in the morning, $41,000 was bet on LaSalle. So that's a pretty big number.
Keep an eye on LaSalle. 652 on the rotation number. See if you can get him +3.
All right, so Duquesne, Rhode Island is $11,000 bet on the game. 52% of the money on Duquesne, 67% of the tickets on Rhode Island, $11,000. So it's got a long way to go yet.
In the Mountain West at 2 o'clock, New Mexico, Nevada, 655, 656. Nevada opened at 4.5. It shot to 6.5 at Circa. So some heavy money came in on Nevada last night at the Circa. 60% of the bets, 78% of the money on Nevada and the Wolfpack.
Yeah, there's another big $40,000 wager on Nevada in this game. And this is showing, let me go back here. It's showing $81,000 on the game, 93% of the money, 64% of the tickets, all on Nevada.
All right, so just be careful there. Guys, you have to remember this, okay? I know we're getting closer to Selection Sunday. I know we're all getting that warm fuzzy feeling. It's here. March Madness is here. You don't want to blow your bankroll this week and be sitting there playing $5 parlay cards because you're out of bullets for next week. So just be careful here. We'll go to the Pac-10. 3 o'clock start, rotation number 661, 662, Stanford and Arizona State. I don't know what Bobby Hurley said to this team. All of a sudden, they get it. This team has been playing great. And again, at Circa last night, the line opened at 2.5, Circa now 4.5. 76% of the bets, 52% of the money, all on Bobby Hurley and the Arizona State Sun Devils.
Yeah, we're showing $29,000 on the game. 73% of the money and 84% of the tickets on Arizona State.
663, 664, Oregon State. No, Oregon State is just putrid. Oregon just never got it clicking. Maybe this is the time that they finally wake up. Opened at 10.5, down to a flat 9. That was done because I know one of Oregon's players is out with a stomach bug. So one of their better players there. That's the move there. But it did open up at 10.5. I'm showing 65% of the bets, 94% of the money, all come flying in on Oregon State right now.
21,000 on the game, 53% of the money on Oregon State, 68% of the tickets on Oregon.
Okay.
So a little bit of a split there.
Utah, Washington, two teams going nowhere, 667, 668. Again, we'll get a lot of action. Why? Because it's the last game on the board. Washington opened at 1, now 2.5, Scott.
Yep, $17,000 on the game, but 57% of the money on Utah, 63% of the tickets on Washington.
All right, now we get to the big boys. Big East, Butler, Xavier, rotation 669, 670. Xavier opened at 6.5, still 6.5, 54% of the bets, 62% of the money coming in with the Butler in the kitchen with the candlestick.
This is showing a little different, but not as much money yet. So only 13,000 on the game, 60% of the money and 58% of the tickets on Xavier.
DePaul, St. John, 671, 672. Opened at 5.5, down to 5 at Circa, 4.5 everywhere else. 86% of the bets, 94% of the money in on DePaul. DePaul's a real scrappy team. They just hang around. The Johnnies, this will be kind of sort of like a home game for them. I think the number's pretty spot on. Slight lean to DePaul here.
$17,000 on the game, 60% of the money on DePaul, 57% of the tickets on St. John's.
Georgetown, Seton Hall, just Patrick Ewing. They just can't. I don't think they had a win all season, regular season. Last year they had the miracle run to the championship game. They open up 10.5 point dogs, still 10.5. 66% of the bets, 96% of the money all in on Georgetown. They haven't been winning, but they actually have been covering of late.
$18,000 bet on the game, 67% of the money on Georgetown, 76% of the tickets on Seton Hall.
Big Ten, Nebraska, Northwestern, rotation number 675, 676. Opened at 4.5, now 5. I'm showing 74% of the money, 74% of the bets, 81% of the money, all on Nebraska, who stunned Wisconsin, who cost me a plus 300 ticket that got shaved in half to a plus 150.
Showing $20,000 on the game, 73% of the money, 72% of the tickets on Nebraska.
Yeah, so reverse line movement coming in on Northwestern. Minnesota, Penn State, 677, 678. Opened at 2.5, now 3.5. 74% of the bets, 55% of the money coming in on the Nittany Lions.
$11,000 on the game, 70% of the money, 75% of the tickets on Penn State.
I want to just throw this out to everyone here. If you're not a subscriber to KenPom, kenpom.com, this is a great site. It's $19.99 for the whole season. Granted, the season, you still got 6 weeks left, but you can go back and you can look at how they played each other, whether it's one time, two times. This is the third time. A lot of rubber games, a lot of revenge games. Tough to beat a team three times if they're 0-2. And you find a lot of these tendencies here with Ken Palm. And I know it's $20. I'm not telling anyone to run out there. I don't get a penny for every sign up for any sign up at Ken Palm. Just a good resource there. SEC, Mississippi, Missouri. This one smells a little. Line opened a little low in my eyes. Mississippi opened at 3, now 4. 68% of the bets, 69% of the money coming in on the Rebels.
Yeah, I got $11,000 on the game, 75% of the money, 50% of the tickets on Mississippi.
I lead Missouri here. I think they're not a live dog. I think they can hang around with Mississippi there. I think the number opened low for a reason. Keep an eye on Missouri there. Georgia Vanderbilt opened at 9, still at 9. 55% of the bets, 90% of the money on Georgia. Playing better. They have their games. They have their moments. Line opened up high for a reason, though.
Yeah, this is showing $10,000 on the game, 73% of the money on Georgia, 66% of the tickets on Vanderbilt.
A lot of these games will be going off tonight. So at the closing bell at 4:30, we're going to be going back over these. K-State opened up as a 1-point favorite, now 2 against Kansas State there. Ryder with a big win last night, 11.5-point dogs tonight. Fairfield St. Pete opened at 5.5, now 5. And just 2 games in the NHL. Washington, Edmonton. Edmonton opened at 1:30, now 1:16. Washington was a winner for us last night. And again, I talk about the opening line there. This is the same exact pattern as the Calgary game last night with Washington. I hate to go back and bite the hand that fed us last night, but I would respect the opening line here. Something with Calgary's line last night didn't smell right. This one, I respect the opening line with Edmonton minus the 130. And then Montreal and Vancouver. Vancouver opened at 200, now 208. Scotty, closing thoughts.
Keeping an eye on baseball today. I'm hoping that these guys get their shit together and we get this thing resolved because of 2 things. One, I'm antsy to get this thing going, and 2, it's that's what I do. I mean, I'm a baseball guy and a football guy, but I've been trying to do this NBA stuff and think it's about a 50-50, a little bit better than that probably right now. But passionate wise, it's all baseball, and I'm hoping that they get together and make this thing happen. It's a lot of black eyes to the sport right now, and hopefully they can clear those up and get the young players out there doing what they do.
Yes. God, everyone waits till we get on the air and they're like pulling me from everywhere. Apologies. Yes, people, questions, comments, concerns, you can always ask me at EC Sports Invest on my timeline. Send me a direct message if you're shy or something. At Scotty, at Webby20 MLB as well. It's that time of year, and I think it's championship week, and then it's March Madness starting next week. Myself will be leaving Tuesday night, land around 9:45 at McCarran Airport. Our friend, Mr. Dave Sharapan, supposed to be picking me up there. Don't make me lift a Uber there, sir. But busy times here. Scotty talked about our Discord channel. We're going to really debut that real soon. What we're looking for is people that want to be active, people that want to be a part of a community, to listen, learn, to ask questions, that want to be educated. We're going to have fun back there, so the entertainment's free. But our goal is to provide you with as much information possible. Whether we want baseball, Scotty's opening numbers. I mean, he does stuff that will blow your mind. Former MLB player. He creates his own line, sabermetrics, analytics, whatever you want to call it. The guy is a genius back there, and he doesn't sleep. So you're getting it from a former professional player. Myself, I don't sleep. You guys know that. But for me, it's following the market. It's following over 50 sports books all around the globe, whether it's Don Best, whether it's Wager Talk, whether it's Sports Insight. Um, for college hoops, we use Ken Palm. I mean, there's not a source we don't use. We're well connected in the Vegas um, area as well with guys that actually work behind the desk. We can provide you with as much information as needed. So come on board. We don't bite. Uh, we just try to cash some tickets. We try to have fun. We try to preach it's a marathon, not a sprint. If you need a new pair of Nikes or New Balances, get your ass to the local athletic store, get them on, and join us. So 1 o'clock Eastern, we will cross the border, myself and Andrew McGinnis, talking some NHL hockey on our Wednesday weekly 1 p.m. show there. And then at 4:30, myself and Scott will be back with the closing bell for the ECSI VIPs. Let's keep it rolling 4-0 this week. Having a nice run, a great way to start the week. Long, long way to go. So no duck boats and parades yet. So everyone, if you're wagering already, please wager responsibly. If you have a problem, pick up that phone. Ask for help. There's an 800 number available. Why? Because myself and Scott care. We want to see you here today, tomorrow, next week, next month, through 2022 and beyond. From myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, Scotty at Webby20 MLB. We wish everyone a blessed morning. Enjoy the games. Have some fun. See you soon.